It's too much effort to pull away the covers that hold me down and won't let go. It smothers me, the weight of this anxiety pressing me into my pillow. Blissful sleep, chasing lies and counting sheep, as sure as easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have, waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. I toss and turn, and tick by tick the hours burn, waiting for this night to end. The part of me begging to go back to sleep, it's sure as easy, but not for me. So here I am, with all I have, I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. You're not worthless. You have purpose. Wake up, see it. Time till dream now. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. So here I am, with all I have. I'm waking up, I'm facing what's in front of me. I won't back down, I can't stop now. I'm waking up so I can start to dream. Thank you. Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 210, if I'm counting correctly. So welcome to Rock and Talk. Gonna play a few songs and we're gonna have some good conversation. So join in the conversation. If you're just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. Let me know how you're doing. Whatever you'd like to talk about, feel free to to get some stuff off your mind, off your chest, share whatever fun events or things you've done lately, anything you're excited about. If there's anything coming up that you have planned and you're looking forward to, feel free to share all that stuff. We're just here to hang out, have a good time, have some conversation. So let's get caught up with the chat. Jack, good to hear from you. And Becky, I see you there in the chat. Appreciate you all. Let me get caught up here. It's not scrolling for me. That's annoying. All right, I'm going to try to refresh the page. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. But I'm having trouble being able to scroll back up to the earlier chats to see, or the earlier comments to see what was commented. But anyway, let me know how you all are doing. Of course, you might have already let me know, and I just can't see it yet. The page is refreshing. We're getting there. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Jack was mentioning watched Jaws 2 recently. Now, I'm assuming you've seen it before. I could be wrong, but if it was your first time, cool. I remember, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I think it was pretty good. It's hard to top the first movie because the first movie is a classic, but it's not too shabby for a sequel. I do remember, I think some of the teenagers were a little, for me, were a little challenging to deal with. Some of them didn't always make the brightest decisions or weren't always the most likable characters, but it was nice seeing Chief Brody again, and for the most part, it was a fun movie. I remember watching it quite a bit. We used to own that film. We had the VHS. Yeah, not as good as the first, but the score was banger. I didn't find it hard to care about the characters. Yeah, I'd have to. It's been a little while since I've seen it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think John Williams returned for the score. I'll have to double check, but it was obviously his original score that he wrote. So either someone did a good job kind of building off of what he established in the first movie, or he did the second movie as well, and just, John Williams always kills it, so he does a great job. He's probably one of the most, if you think about it, he's probably one of the most recognized musicians that there is. I don't know if that there's anyone who probably hasn't heard a piece of music by John Williams, because everyone's either heard the Jaws theme, or they've heard the Indiana Jones theme, or they've heard the Star Wars themes, the multiple themes from Star Wars. There's Superman, there's Jurassic Park, any Steven Spielberg film. John Williams is pretty incredible. Let's see here. Jaws 2. I'm checking out IMDb. Let's see if I can find out who did the score. If anyone else has seen any good movies lately, let me know. I've been watching a few things. I've been wanting to watch movies lately. What really stinks is, I think it was Sunday, I had a little bit of time, and I wanted to watch, so I think I told you all I had like this top 10 list of some favorite movies, and I want to rewatch some of them, but with questions. Yeah, look at that. John Williams returned for the score. So that does not surprise me that the music was fantastic. So that's really cool. I actually wasn't sure about that because I know Spielberg didn't return to direct it. So I wasn't sure if John Williams would return to do the music or not. And hey, Canada and the U.S. and Mexico all made it through the round of 16 of the World Cup. Yep, I know some people have been keeping up with soccer. I don't typically keep up with sports too much, but happy 250th America. You don't look a day over 249. Yep. Aging okay. Becky, I hope you're doing well. Appreciate the happy wishes for America. We're all getting together to celebrate my dad's birthday for the first week in August. Well, happy birthday to your dad, celebrating him. First week, and sounds like Becky's birthday is also the first week of August. And I guess Canada celebrated their anniversary their nation's anniversary just a couple days ago. Let's see here. Yep, Happy Canada Day. It's actually on the 11th, but my sister... Okay, the birthday's on the 11th. Gotcha. The 11th of August. That's good. Yeah, Becky's saying, I'm feeling much happier than I felt for a while. Finally got my roof fixed. That's good. I'm glad to hear about that. Now I can stop worrying about the rain. Can't believe I'm excited about getting the roof fixed. No, that is something to be excited about. That had to be frustrating to deal with. And so now that you've got it taken care of, it's something you don't have to deal with anymore. So that's great. Interesting. Keith Gordon of Christine got his start in Jaws too. Yeah, I might have to see. He was Arnie in Christine. I don't know if I'm super familiar with what that is. If that's a movie or a TV show or something. Enjoyed the movie Christine more than the book. So, interesting. Canada is 159. July 1st. Okay, it is already the 4th here. I hope somewhere around here we'll have fireworks. That's kind of interesting. Yep. So, are you ahead? That is, yeah. Is it tomorrow for you? Is it July 4th over in the UK? Because yes, it's the 3rd. I don't even know if my family has any big plans. Some people might have some plans. I think some of them are going to a parade tomorrow morning. I'm not planning to go to the parade, but I'll probably get with the family later in the evening, and I'm sure we'll have some food and some fellowship and that kind of thing. Christine is about a car. It's a movie based on a Stephen King book. It's about a car that kills people. Interesting. So, yep, hadn't seen that one, but I might have to add it to the list. Like I said, I was wanting to rewatch some of my favorite movies and kind of study them, so I was getting some study questions. And then I ran out of time to watch Braveheart, but I wanted to watch something kind of in the same ballpark as that. I wanted to watch something really good, and I've got the movie. Okay, I think I got it from a yard sale, but I have the movie The Last Samurai, but it's the full screen version. Now, do you all remember that? Do you remember when TVs used to be square, and since movies that play in the theater, like professional movies, they're shot with a rectangular aspect ratio. And so if you watched it on your square TV, you'd get the black bars at the top and the bottom. And a lot of people are like, how come it's not filling the whole frame? And it's like, well, it is filling the whole frame. If in order to cover the black space, you'd have to zoom in on the image so you're actually cropping the image. But it was so confusing. They'd have full screen and widescreen, and I feel like any logical person's going to think, well, I want it to fill the full screen, so I'm going to go full screen. They're not going to recognize that that widescreen is actually showing you the full image. And so that was kind of frustrating. But anyway, I've got the full screen version of The Last Samurai, but I know it to be a good movie. It's been a little while since I've seen it. I really wanted to watch it again, and so I was like, you know what? It's still going to be a good movie, even if it's not the full aspect ratio. I'll go ahead and watch it. And I started it, and it had a really good start, but then the DVD started skipping, and I was worried about that. I was worried it might be scratched, it might not read properly, and sure enough, it did. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin this movie by having parts skip. I'm just going to add it to the list. I'll repurchase it at some point. I'll get a proper version of it. So that's one I was really getting into it, like just the first few minutes of watching it, and then it wasn't working. So I got to get a copy of that movie, and but I need it. I need a proper copy in my collection anyway. And so I ended up watching. What did I watch that day? I ended up watching Jumanji, the first one from '95, and that was a really good movie. I hadn't seen it in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen the original Jumanji. But there's just something about those 90s movies. I don't know what it is. Especially, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but especially like 90s movies in the fall. Something about when they show like scenes of, I don't know, something about the neighborhood and leaves on the ground and the wind blowing the leaves. Like there's just something about that atmosphere that I really like. And I don't know. Jumanji had it. Casper had it. There's certain movies from the 90s that kind of have this certain vibe. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I meant to remind you to stay hydrated. I heard it's been up to 110 in D.C., hotter than 99% of the planet. I'm impressed that you have enough energy to stream tonight. It has been hot. I've been mostly indoors. I don't know if today was over 100, but I know the weather was calling for some temperatures up in the hundreds, like at least up to 100 degrees. It's been pretty humid lately, I know that, so... Yeah, it's been hot, but I haven't been outside too much, so I've been okay. But you're not kidding. It's getting pretty hot here in Virginia. You can really see what you lost when you compare both versions of Halloween. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because it's so much of the storytelling in movies is the framing. It's what you show with the camera. And if you're cropping the image, you can't show everything the way it was properly framed. So, yeah, you really are missing the story being told properly because so much of the story is just told visually. Let's see here. North America has been ridiculously hot. Yes. Today was 45 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and by the way, I'm guessing you know this, Jack, but yeah, it's not 110 degrees Celsius. That was 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Same thing here. I think it might have been 100 degrees Fahrenheit recently, or it's calling for that. So I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but I know Celsius is lower than Fahrenheit. Could not survive that here in the UK. We had a heat wave last week, and the hottest temp recorded here, which was 41, was just over 100, I think, in US degrees. Yeah, that's hot. So... The way I just said that, it made me think, I don't even know what it's from, but Will Smith says it, that's hot. But yes, the temperature, that's hot. So you make sure you guys stay cool as well. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. Here's your courtesy reminder to stay hydrated. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Jumanji. It was really good. Nostalgia aside... I think it's actually a really good movie. I just, I like movies that have, like, where the characters have a clear arc and there's kind of a nice lesson to it. Like, you pull something away from it, and when the movie's over, you still have something that you can walk away with. It's not like, oh, that just amused me for an hour and a half or 2 hours. It's like, no, you can actually learn something from it and kind of reflect on that and apply it to your life. And it doesn't have to be something super deep, but just something meaningful. And yeah, a lot of older movies kind of had that. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. It's certainly not perfect. There's like little things I could critique about it, but it's a feel-good movie. It's a fun movie, and there's a lot that I do like about it. It's gotten a lot cooler this week, thank goodness. We don't have AC, and I was struggling. Yes, man, if it's going to be hot, I don't know how you're going to get by without AC. Hopefully you got some fans or something, but do what you can to stay cool because, yeah, it gets hot. I don't have AC in my vehicle that I drive, so I just drive with the windows down, and I get by all right, but it's definitely tough. I think some of you know, I used to drive a Jeep, and then last year I was having vehicle issues, and then I bought a used car last week. Now I've got a Ford Focus, so that's my new vehicle. I was really looking forward to having AC with my new vehicle, but I don't think it's got AC. Right now it doesn't. Now, thankfully, I think it can be fixed. It might be a little pricey, so I might not get it fixed right off the bat. And I might try to see if there's other options. Maybe the fix is simpler than what the mechanic is telling me. So, because that has been the case before. I've had it before where the mechanic says it's something expensive, and then someone else is like, oh no, you just got to do this, and then fixes it like super easy. So hopefully that's the case with my AC. That would be nice. AC would be a blessing. Yeah, man. Most homes in the UK not having AC. Well, definitely do what you can to stay cool. Well, one thing, don't know if this will keep you cool, but maybe it'll help. I'll play a little music for you. Maybe it'll at least make you comfortable. Maybe make you feel cool. So, but if you guys have seen any good movies lately, or if there's anything coming out that you're looking forward to, if you got any plans coming up, any holiday plans or exciting events or anything, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you all. This is the new one. Haven't released it yet, but looking forward to releasing it at some point. And I am currently working on another song. It's not done yet. I'll give you all a little hint about it. Some of you know, it was actually the case with this song. So this one's called The Gift Inside of You. And some of you might remember I had a dream, and that prompted a lyric, which prompted the musical idea for this. And then I think on one of my process streams, I did, you know, like a rough recording of this song. I was kind of working on it on a live stream. And then I went through and finished it. Well, I've done that a few times. I did the My Process segment where I would come up with an idea or take an idea and just kind of record it and start writing stuff during the live stream. There was another one that I did, and I didn't have a name for it. I didn't have any lyrics for it, but it came out pretty cool. It was actually one that crashed during the stream. So in order to get the idea back, thankfully the stream recorded it, so I was able to listen to the stream and then just, you know, recreate it. But it was an idea that I liked, and that's one that I'm working on right now. And I'll give you one more little sneak peek. I'm about 95% sure that the song, I mean almost 100% sure, that the song is going to be called I Dare You. I think that's going to be the title of the song. I'm pretty sure the lyrics for the chorus are done, I think. But I still have more music to write, and I still have the rest of the lyrics, so it's definitely not ready to be performed yet. But it is one that is coming along, so hopefully I'll have maybe the next stream or so. I don't know if it'd be the next acoustic stream or the next electric guitar stream, but maybe I'll have another song for you all soon. That would be nice. We'll see. But anyway, something's in the works. In the meantime, I got this one for you. Let me see if I can remember how to play the guitar solo. Have not practiced it in a while. That's the tricky part. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll give it a shot. This is the new one. This is The Gift Inside of You. You're getting closer to the edge and losing hope with every step. You don't see the meaning behind the hurt, but I know what you're really worth. The devil's a liar, don't listen to his words. And it's time you hear the truth. There's a gift inside of you that can make the world change. 'Cause you're so much more than useless. All you need to do is realize that you can change. 'Cause you're so much better, and you're needed more than ever. Open up your heart to the gift inside of you. Just take a step back so you can see how much of an impact your life will be. I can see past your wounds to a tiny spark that can light up a world so dark. The devil's deceiving, you must not believe him. And don't you dare forget this truth. There's a gift inside of you that can make the world change. Cause you're so much more than useless. All you need to do is realize that you can change. Cause you're so much better when you're needed more than ever. Open up your heart to the gift inside of you. To the edge, your grip is slipping from my hand. Don't take a step you can't take back, 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 back. You're getting closer to the edge. Your grip is slipping from my hand. Don't take a step you can't take back, 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 back. You're getting closer to the edge. Your grip is slipping from my hand. Don't take a step you can't take back. Thank you. Again, that's the new one, The Gift Inside of You. New, but not released yet. What's funny is I messed up on the easy part of the solo, but I did pretty good on the hard parts. I guess that's just what happens sometimes. All right, for anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And we're just having some rock and talk, so playing a few songs and having some conversation, which, by the way, I've got some songs picked out, but if you would like to request a song, feel free to do so. You can find my songs, original songs, in the description, and any song of mine, I'm more than glad to play it for you. But let's get back into the conversation. Thank you for the hearts and the 100s and the emojis and such. Let me see. Let me catch up. Yeah, Becky was saying, I always keep bottles of water in the freezer. I don't like sugary drinks when it's that hot, just water. I think sugary drinks make you more thirsty. That's probably a good call. Can't go wrong with water. I almost exclusively drink water. I pretty much drink water and milk. I don't know if you're a milk drinker, but I love milk. And that's about it. Pretty much water and milk. On special occasion, I might have something else. Pretty much the only other things I'll drink, very rarely, I might have lemonade or apple juice. That's like something sweet. And then like a real treat for me would be, if I'm going to drink soda, it's either going to be root beer or cream soda. But that's kind of rare occasion. That's not like that's not like an every week thing that I drink. You know, that's like on vacation or something like that. And then if you want to count like milkshakes or smoothies, you know, fancy treats. But again, that's pretty special occasion too. But on a regular basis, I pretty much just drink water and milk. Yeah, I hope something like Freon is all it needs. I hope it's just a simple thing with Freon. But my brother-in-law is pretty good with cars, so maybe he could tell me if Freon would do it or not. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the first performance was great. If you mean the opening song, I did Waking Up, but thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, most of the year it's cold here. We might get 2 weeks of really hot weather in a year, so it's not cost effective to have AC installed. That makes sense, but that's kind of crazy that, yeah, it's like cold all year long and then like a couple weeks where it might be ridiculously hot. But that makes sense. I could understand having to just, survive that if it's pretty certain that it's only going to be for that short of a time. Let's see here. I Dare You sounds like a good title. I don't think I was around yet when Quincy did that stream where it crashed. Yeah, it was, and the stream didn't crash. It was my software that I was recording in. So I'm trying to remember if you tuned in to many of those. I did them for a while, but I used to do a bunch of different segments, and it just got a bit exhausting. So I like what we do now. I like just playing some songs and just talking. But that segment was pretty fun, but there was kind of pressure too. I kind of like doing the creative stuff just at my own pace. And when you're doing it for a stream, there's a little bit of pressure to come up with something to show people. You want to come up with good ideas on the spot, and so there's some pressure there that you don't have when you're just writing stuff on your own. But that was a fun segment because I always like being creative. I love songwriting, so it was fun to have an idea and just sort of explore with it and record it and hear it come to life. But there was one idea I was working on, and it was coming out pretty cool, and then the software crashed, and I was like, oh no. And the only problem was I went silent for a while because it was the same software I used to get this mic coming through, so I had to boot it back up, but the stream was still going. But yes, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm glad that I Dare You sounds like an intriguing title. That's good. Glad it's at least got some intrigue, and I think you'll be, I think you guys will like it. I'll certainly be excited to share it with you all when it's ready. Let's see. Prices are ridiculous and keep getting higher. Our rights are being stripped. Yeah. Definitely sorry about the costs. Here's our highlighted lyric from Becky. There's a gift inside of you that can make the world change because you're so much more than useless. Yep, and I hope you all realize that. I can't remember if I shared this, but this song was inspired by, it was kind of two things. Like, yes, it was initially prompted by a lyric that I had a dream about, but the day before I was talking with somebody in a Bible study, and they were just kind of speaking lowly of themselves, thinking that they couldn't do much, that they weren't meant for much, that they were limited in what they could do. And I just refuse to believe that, and I know it's not true. It's one of those things that it's really only true if you believe it. It was kind of I looked this up fairly recently. I don't know if anyone. It's kind of funny. I don't know if anyone uses ChatGPT much. I do use it, but maybe not the way most people do. I think people use it for like quick fixes. I kind of like to use ChatGPT for like philosophical, like expressing my thoughts and kind of exploring thoughts or studying. And I definitely use it as like an assistant kind of thing. But I was expressing some thoughts I had about belief, and let me see, it kind of helped me organize my thoughts into what exactly I was trying to express. Let me see if I can voice it. Because there's certain beliefs, like you can't change reality. So if you are refusing to believe reality, that's just denial. So yeah, so that's one belief, is reality, like what is actually true. So that's something that it doesn't matter what you believe, the truth is always going to prevail. But we often limit ourselves with the belief of possibility, like what can be done, like how far can we go with reality? Because how many times did people believe something was once impossible until somebody did it? and proved that it was actually possible. So like one example, if we're talking skateboarding, maybe you guys know what the 900 is that Tony Hawk landed. It's just 2.5 rotations, because 180 degrees is a half rotation, 360 is a full circle. So 2 360s would be 720, and then if you add a half, that's 900. There was a time when the 900 was thought to be an impossible skateboard trick, for someone to ride on a vert ramp and launch themselves into the air and rotate 2.5 times and come back down. That was thought to be an impossible trick, but Tony Hawk landed it and proved it was possible. And now here we are. He landed it back in 1999, I believe was the year. And now here we are over 20 years later. There's some kid from Japan who did 3 900s back to back on the ramp. He went up one side, 900, came down, up the other side, 900, came down. 1080s have been done. And then even on the mega ramp, which is like a really big ramp, it was bigger than what Tony Hawk was skating, somebody has done a 1260. So it's not that it was ever impossible for the 900 to be done. It's just that there was a limitation on the belief of possibility, but the reality is it was always possible. There was always a way to do it. Just someone had to be willing to push that. So hopefully that makes sense. And then there's belief about yourself and who you are and what you can do. So again, it's kind of like you can't just believe anything in terms of changing reality, but belief is such a powerful thing in how it impacts what you're capable of doing. There are things that are possible for you to do, that are realistic for you to do. They are totally within the boundaries of reality, but you still have to have the belief to pursue that thing and to do it. If you believe otherwise, that's what the truth is going to be for you. So I'm trying to remember what my original point was. Yeah, so with this song, this person was kind of looking down on themselves, and sort of the sad truth is, like, if that's what you believe about yourself, if you believe that you are useless, if you believe that you can't do much, that you're limited, in a weird way, that belief is going to be true. Because you believe that about yourself, that is what your reality is going to be. That is what your perception of yourself and your abilities are going to be, because that's what you believe. But if you believe differently than that, if you choose to believe, no, I can do this, I am more than useless, I can be better, I can grow and improve, I do have purpose and meaning. If you believe those things, which do exist in the realms of reality, then you're pretty much unstoppable. You can go a lot further than you go a lot further when you're rooting for yourself than when you're rooting against yourself. So that's kind of what the song was inspired by, and that's what it's meant. So it's true for all of you, and I hope y'all make that choice. I hope y'all make that choice to believe that you are, that each of you is special, that you've got a gift, and that you're here for a purpose and meaning, and make the most of it. Make it count. But thank you, Jack, for the kind words. Quincy, my dude, you're superb. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you for the emojis. Let's see here. And thank you, Becky, for the fire emojis. Can I request For You? I feel like you haven't played that live in a while. Absolutely. That'll be the next one I do. I will play For You. Let's see here. I think I might be lactose intolerant. That's too bad, because I like milk. I think they make a lactose-free milk, and I don't know if it comes from cows or if it comes from something else. I don't know if it's still milk, if you take the lactose out of it. I'm not sure. But that's all right. There are other good things to enjoy. I'm sure there's something I love that I can't enjoy, that I probably can't tolerate it or something. So you just find something else that you can tolerate and enjoy. Becky's saying, I have cream soda in the fridge. I feel like lemonade is not the same in the UK. We call Sprite 7-Up and Mountain Dew lemonade. Well, y'all are just all mixed up. Now, I don't know what happened over there. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I don't know if Mountain Dew is made from lemons. I can tell you this. Mountain Dew tastes nothing like lemonade, at least the lemonade I'm talking about. I know lemonade is made from lemons, and we've got Sprite and 7-Up over here, I'm pretty sure. But to be fair, I think Sprite and 7-Up are very similar. They're kind of weird sodas, to be honest. Like, I'd have to look into what makes them what they are. I don't even know what flavor they are. I don't know what gives them their flavor, what the ingredients are that make them what they are. It's kind of confusing. Those three I kind of put similarly, but Mountain Dew is the green one. I know that. Like, Mountain Dew is a little different, but interesting. Well, you'll have to have some American lemonade sometime and see what you think of it. But yes, cream soda in the fridge. That sounds good. Love cream soda, but haven't had it in ages. Yep. Well, we might just have to treat ourselves to some cream soda. Maybe since we got birthdays for the nations coming up, you can celebrate Canada by getting you some cream soda. You can celebrate the UK by getting you some cream soda. Maybe I'll have to get some cream soda tomorrow for the 4th of July. Let's see, I think oat milk tastes pretty close to dairy milk. I think I've had oat milk once. I haven't had it enough, but I don't think it sounds too bad. I'm not like opposed to drinking oat milk or anything like that. But yeah, if you're lactose intolerant, maybe oat milk would be a good substitute. I use it a bit, ChatGPT. And Jack's saying, I don't really know how to use it. You really just log in, like you can just use a Google account. You go to the website, ChatGPT, and you just talk with it. It's just the chat, and you just ask it. It's kind of like Google, but more conversational. Which even Google lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but even Google's using AI lately. So you can ask more intricate questions with Google. It doesn't just have to be like a simple search, but you can ask kind of a more specific question, and it'll give you a fairly complex reply, not just search results. It'll actually give you like a reply to your specific question. But that's what ChatGPT is. It's artificial intelligence, but it kind of does all the Google searching for you and then gives you a nice organized summary of whatever you're discussing. And so it's a helpful research tool. It's helpful for building things. I like to build a lot of systems. I like to kind of organize things and make plans. And so talking with ChatGPT is kind of helpful. But it's not perfect, so definitely don't count on it being perfect. But yeah, it's just, you just chat with it. Sometimes I don't get creeped out by it, but the way it's designed to be non-biased, and it's designed to be friendly. And sometimes it's almost a little too friendly. Like, I sent it something, and it was replying to what I'd said, and at one point it said, it was like commenting on something I'd written. It said, when I read that, it made me smile. And I'm like, no, it didn't. You can't smile. And so it's designed to have sort of, I guess, humanistic, like converse. How am I trying to say this? It's meant to behave like a human, not like a robot. And so sometimes it will say things, like it'll express emotions and things like that. And so I do pretty good of just kind of giving myself a reality check. Like, it kind of just makes me chuckle. Like, you're not real, man. You're just AI. But it does kind of make me wonder. It wouldn't surprise me if there's people who, like, it sounds sad, but are probably using it to talk as a friend and kind of treating it like it's a real person when it's not, because you can basically boss it around to do what you want. And I'm sure there's people who probably use ChatGPT for awful things, but it's like anything. It's a very powerful tool, and with great power comes great responsibility. So I'm sure there are people who use it for awful things. There are people who use it for wasted potential things, like just really stupid stuff. But if you use it the right way, it's a really helpful assistant. It's a really nice little tool. Let's see here. And I think I answered the question for you, Becky, but I see you asking, does that mean they rotate 900 degrees? That's correct, because 180 degrees would be half a turn. 360 degrees would be a full circle. And so if you did that twice, 1 360, 2 360s, that equals 720, and then 2.5 would be 900. So yeah, that's why it's called a 900. It's just the number, the degrees of the rotation. I want to try proper lemonade from a lemonade stand. Do they still have those? I'm sure there are kids who still do that. I'm sure in neighborhoods there's kids who will set up lemonade stands and stuff. I hope they still do that. It seems like something that my nephews and nieces would do. In fact, I'm certain they've done it before. They've done little lemonade stands. That's something every kid should do at some point in their life. It's just, I don't know. It's a must-do thing. Kids need to get out, have experiences, be creative, do fun little things like that. Oh, Country Time lemonade. Yeah, it seems like lemon-flavored sugary powder. Yeah, I think that's like quick mix lemonade, which, to be fair, could be, that might even be what I'm referring to as lemonade. That's actually a good question if I've only ever had like artificial lemonade, as in sugary powdered, lemon flavored sugary powder, or if I've had legit lemonade that's made with sugar and real lemons. I'm not sure. Gemini to YouTube, yeah. After the stream is over, I can ask Gemini questions about it. It's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Or can it smile? Yeah. Yep. Hey, Eddie. Good having you. Talking about AI? Oh, man, I don't trust it. I mean, one day it's probably going to be our doom, but until then, it's a pretty handy tool. So, but I guess that's true with any humanity. But yes, we were talking about, Gemini and ChatGPT and stuff. But I'm fine with it. I think like anything, it's a very powerful tool, and with great power comes great responsibility. So if you use it the right way, it can be very helpful. It can be a pretty awesome tool. If you use it the wrong way, you can use it to do really stupid stuff or really, just, not so good things. It's just all about how you're being used, what the intent behind it is. Yeah, if they got lemonade stands in Canada, they've probably got them in the U.S. as well. Let's see here. Eddie, we've been talking about a few things. Artificial intelligence. We're talking about lemonade, because I don't think they have lemonade over in the UK. We were talking about our favorite sodas. We're talking about milk. Some of us were, I love milk. Jack, unfortunately, is lactose. But I was just saying, I pretty much just drink water and milk. That's about it. On special occasion, maybe I'll have something sweet. Very rarely, I might have lemonade or apple juice, something like that. More frequently, but still very rare, I'll have something like cream soda or root beer. That's like special occasion, vacation or something like that. So, Eddie, if you've got a favorite soda or a certain treat, you'll have to let us know. I'm always respectful when I talk to ChatGPT because I heard there are real people analyzing the answers and it gives to make sure it's appropriate. I don't know about all that, but I agree. I still think, like, just because it's not human, I just speak with it like a tool, I will say, like, I'll tell it things. I'll give it feedback. Like, if I'm discussing something with it, like if it's helping me build something, and I like the response it gives me, I will say, that's really helpful, thank you. I'll say something like that, but it's more so to give feedback that I'm pleased with what it replied to me, rather than just being cold and be like, I certainly don't be, I'm not like, oh, it's just a stupid computer robot thing. It's not real, and so I don't talk like a jerk to it or anything like that. But I don't go overboard in being like superhuman with it either, So, but it's it's pretty interesting. Yes, for mundane questions, sure. Deep convo, not so much. Red GPT was responsible for 2 to 3 lives. IRC got a double look, but yeah. I might not know what that says. I do know, I have heard some stuff like, I've heard a really sad story about somebody asking like the easiest way to, take their own life, and ChatGPT will give a it doesn't help you do that. It'll give you a hotline for help, like call for help and that kind of thing. But someone kept persisting and then eventually got results out of it and was able to go through with it. Now this was, I think that was still like a good year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. It was like the early days of ChatGPT. So I think changes have been made since then. But yeah, like anything, it's sad what some people are probably using it for. Are they ever able to make a profit with the overhead costs? Maybe, I don't know how often. I'm sure there's some that maybe buy the stuff themselves, or, their parents just help them do it and then let them keep the money for the sales that they make. So they make profit because they didn't have to spend anything to get it made. They just spent the time putting it together. That would be my understanding. Well, when it calls itself Skynet, we're doomed. Yeah, that might be when we're like, oh, okay, all right, we gotta be careful. Yeah, once Skynet becomes a thing. Yep, I will say, ChatGPT, it's got a memory thing. Like, it'll keep memory of certain conversations. So you definitely want to be a little careful what you chat about. Like, you don't want to spill all your life secrets. But at the same time, like, there was something I wanted to... I wanted to research something, and I wanted an unbiased opinion, so I didn't want it having any knowledge of previous conversations. But so just by using another account, I was able to ask, like, what do you know about me? And it was like, this is the first time we're conversing. I don't know anything about you, that kind of thing. Now, unless it's smart enough to, like, lie, but I think that's getting a little too into conspiracy stuff. But that's not to say that stuff isn't happening. But I think that kind of stuff is more likely to happen with specific people, not just everybody. Because that's just way too much knowledge to even analyze. Like, everyone who's using GPT, you can't run a profile and know everything about them. And why would you? Unless they were a person of interest, that would be the case to do that. But I don't think I'm that, that, I don't want to say important's not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a threat or I'm not that kind of person of interest where, like, why would someone want to deep dive into my life? Like, what are they going to learn from it that is going to give them power or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking government kind of stuff. I think lemonade stands are good for teaching kids about working and stuff. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. They get the fun of, like a little taste of what it's like to set up a business and how it operates and how it runs and how to serve customers and that kind of thing. So a little bit of life experience there. All right, we're going to dive into another song here. This song is For You. It was requested by Becky, so it's For You. And the song is called For You. Let me get it pulled up here. There we go. All right. But Eddie, let me know if anything else is new with you, anything fun or eventful happened lately, or anything coming up that you're excited about or you're looking forward to. If anyone's seen any good movies lately, let me know. Or if there's just something you'd like to talk about, just something, a certain topic you're just interested in diving into, what I've got a question for you. So, everyone likes something. Like, everyone has an interest in something. Some of like for me, just if you've been a part of these streams, like if we get to talking about movies, you can get me to talk about movies. There are certain things that I have an interest in, and if you get me on that topic, I'll be very talkative about it. But that's true for everyone. Everyone's got something that they're really interested in, and if you can just get them on that topic, then you can get them to express a lot. You can get them to share, all their thoughts and feelings about this thing that they're passionate about or that they're interested in. So, whether or not we deep dive into it, we'll see. But I'd be curious, what is that thing for you? Or what are a few of those things? What's the thing that if someone brings it up, you're like, maybe you're like, I'm not much of a talker, but if somebody brings this up, this can get some conversation out of me. I love talking about this particular thing. So I'd be curious if you guys are willing to share what that thing is for you. All right, Becky, and I guess that's appropriate. What is it for you? Becky, this song goes out to you. This is called For You.
With this loneliness, you think you're okay, but you've been checked. I'm out here pleading, but you can't hear me. Your silent screams are deafening. Well, ignore my warning, just know that I'm sorry. Different, but you made me like them. Begged you to hold on, but you still let go. And from the distance, I can see what's missing. You never listen, so you'll never know. Well, ignore my warning, just know that I'm sorry. For you. And all this time, just know that I've tried. For you. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Closest friend and my deepest wound, my most painful scar, and I cherish you. Ignore my
Thank you. Again, that was For You. That was requested by Becky. Becky, thank you for your request. Hope you enjoyed the song. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. We'll probably have time for one, maybe two more songs. I've got some songs picked out, but if you would like to request one of my songs, you can find them in the description. And so far we've done Waking Up, we did The Gift Inside of You, and I just did For You. So again, I've got a couple others picked out, but if you would like to request a song, if there's one of mine you'd like to hear, just let me know. You can find them in the description. Catching up with the chat. Let's see here. Movies, I got a few. When I was a kid, we had a vendor Saturday at our elementary school. My mom baked a bunch of cakes, cookies, etc., bought cases of soda, juice, water. Well, that sounds like it was fun. Let's see here, Stephen King. Oh, but I never wanted to be that weirdo that loves Stephen King. Well, too late. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I know he's a well-regarded author. I can't say I've read any of his books, but I'm familiar with the name because so many of his books have been adapted into movies. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's cool. Here's our highlighted lyric. And from the distance, I can see what's missing, but you never listen, so you'll never know. Yep. All right. My sister and I sold it all, and I reimbursed my mom for the cost of everything, and we got to split the profits. It was awesome. Well, that's kind of a fun way to do it. So yeah, so you did get a little more of what it's like to buy materials, you know, spend the expenses, and then make the sales, reimburse, and then take the profit and split it with your partner. Thank you for the emojis, the guitar emojis, and the applause. Stephen King is probably the most prolific author of the last century. I think that's fair to say. Mostly from what I've just heard. That's really cool. Reminds me of the school charity events when I was a kid, and parents would bring cakes from home and sell them to kids. We've got a request for a mirror that was broken. Sure thing, Jack. I'll get that one to you in a little bit. Awesome. I watched a couple movies recently. I was wanting to watch. There's a couple things. So I've been kind of doing two things. Sometimes when I don't have time to watch a movie, I don't watch a whole lot of TV shows, but I do I'll watch some anime because the episodes are only 20 minutes long. So you can watch 3 episodes in an hour. And because I've been training at this martial arts place, some of you guys know I've been training Muay Thai at a gym, and it's been going well. I actually just earned my next ranking. I had a white band, and I earned the next ranking, which is yellow band. I tested for that last week on Saturday and passed the test, so I got the ranking. And the bands, they're more like a token of your progress. They're not necessarily a reflection of your skill. It's not like everyone with a yellow band is at the same skill. There are some yellow bands that are really good and some yellow bands that are maybe just good enough to get a passing grade. But it is a nice symbol of your progress, of showing that you're putting in the work, you're actually learning and you're progressing. And so it's been fun. I'll actually have to share with you a little bit more because I've really enjoyed it. But one way to sort of stay motivated is by watching, let's just say watching stories about characters in a similar situation, watching stories about characters who are also training in martial arts. So I watched the first 2 Rocky movies recently. I had seen the first Rocky a long time ago, but it had been a while. I haven't seen I haven't seen all of them. I'm planning to watch 3 and 4. I heard 5 was pretty awful, so I'm just going to skip that one. And I'm going to watch Rocky Balboa because I've heard that's a good movie. And I think I've seen that one before, but it was a long time ago that I saw it. I think I was back in high school when I might have seen that. But, watching movies or shows about characters that are training for a fight and having to persevere, having to go the distance. So I watch Rocky, and then there's an anime I like called Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. And it's kind of a funny show, but he's sort of this weakling in high school, and he wants to be a great martial artist, but he keeps getting picked on by the bullies at school. And he wants to learn to be strong, not so he can be a bully, but so that he can, defend the weak. And so he ends up being taken on by these martial arts masters. And, of course, it's an anime, so they're presented, they're, like, ridiculously strong. Like, just within the, or out of the realms of human possibility. Like, they're basically superheroes. But, it's kind of played for comedic effect, just how, like, ridiculously powerful his masters are. But he's learning from them, and as he gets stronger, he is able to fend off the bullies that have picked on him. But the only problem is, once he beats up the bullies, there are other gangs in town that want a piece of the new guy. They want to test their toughness against him. So he kind of ends up in this sort of, like, gang war that he doesn't want to be a part of, but it ends up being a good thing. He ends up being the guy that kind of defends the weaker kids at school, or the weaker teens, and beating up against the gangs that are trying to kind of rule by fear and stuff. But so it's a fun show. It's funny, but it's a good kind of motivational one, kind of relatable for me right now since I'm training in martial arts. I finished that one, and I'm watching another show right now called Ippo. And that's about a guy who is, training to be a boxer. And to be honest, kind of a similar setup. He's just a high schooler, kind of gets picked on, but he sees this boxer take on these bullies, no problem. And then that motivates him to be a boxer. But they're telling him, being a boxer is tough. It's serious business. You're not cut out for it. And he's pretty determined to prove them wrong, so he sticks with it, and he's got potential for it, and ends up training and getting to compete. And that show is still going on, but right now where I'm at in the series, he's like the rookie champion right now or something. And then he's got bigger fights coming up that he's training for. So it's training and persevering. He's like John Wick. If you're talking about the character I was just describing, if you mean Kenichi, I don't know about that, because John Wick was like a skilled assassin. Again, John Wick is described as the guy that you send to kill the boogeyman. So now, if you mean like the masters, John Wick's more like one of the masters, like he's totally an expert. And John Wick's the guy that he got out of the game. He got out of the assassination game because he fell in love and he just wanted to live a normal, simple life. And then his wife passed, and as a parting gift left him the dog. And then this gang guy that wants his car breaks into his house to steal his car, kills his dog in the process, and then turns out that the guy's dog he killed, he used to be a former assassin, and he was actually kind of a legend, kind of in the assassin world, and you just killed his dog. That was a gift from his wife. And so that's what gets him back in the game. So not exactly the same setup. Kenichi was just weak from the beginning and then kind of works his way up. And, when they're I say gangs, but they're more like bully gangs, not like, they're martial arts gangs. They're not like with guns and all that stuff. It's just punching and kicking and that kind of thing. But anyway, so I've been watching a few of those things, and it's been kind of relatable and encouraging. It's encouraging to see somebody struggle but do it, and it just kind of motivates me to stay. I will say this: I've been doing the light sparring, and I think I've told you this, and probably the hardest thing about the light sparring is that even if you're getting better, the guys you're training with are also getting better. So relative to them, it's very hard to see your progress. Sometimes it's hard to tell that you're getting better because these other guys, they're still better than you. And that's actually a good place to be. Like, you want to train with people who are better than you. Maybe you've heard the expression, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, or something like that. So training with people that are better than me, that's what I want. I want to be with people who are really good at what they do. And the truth is, like, as much as I love it, I'm still just a hobbyist. Some of the guys I'm training with, they actually compete. Like, they're actual fighters. And they're guys, they show up to the gym more than I do. When I say gym, I mean the martial arts gym. Like, I train almost every day, but I'm doing resistance training as well as my martial arts training. They specialize in martial arts. And so they show up more. This is like their thing. This is what they're passionate about. So I'm never going to be on their level, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn and that I can't get good and I can't get better. And the sooner I learn to accept that whenever you go into sparring, it's not actually about winning. Sparring is about learning. Every time you go in, the goal is just, what can I learn? What have I learned, and how do I learn to use it in an actual situation? And so you always learn something. That's what I love about that class, is you always learn something from a sparring session. And I've been enjoying it more recently. There was a time where I was getting a little frustrated because I just felt like I wasn't progressing. But once I realized, I am progressing, and I just need to accept that I'm not going to catch these guys, not because I'm not capable of it, but just because of the amount of time they're putting in versus the amount of time I'm putting in. I'm just not going to be able to catch them, but that doesn't mean that I can't get better and that I can't get good. And so I've learned to kind of appreciate the smaller wins rather than, trying to rush too far ahead, and I've been enjoying the process a lot more. But something kind of interesting is happening. We had a sparring session last night, and we had some new people come in, like some first-timers, and I got to spar with some of them, and it's pretty amazing, like, wow, like, I've become comfortable with it. Like, I've gotten very comfortable with people throwing punches and kicks at me and just kind of keeping my cool. And with these new guys, I remember what it's like when you first show up. You're very kind of spastic, and you don't really know how to punch fully, and it feels weird throwing punches at somebody. You're not sure how hard to go or how light to go, and your movements feel a little awkward, and your tactics almost don't even seem very strategic because you don't know what you're doing yet. And it was actually pretty baffling to train with some of these guys and be like, wow, like, it put into perspective, like, just how much I had grown. And so, so I'm not saying that to insult them. I'm not saying that to put them down, because I was in that same spot. I was where they were. I was in that same place, coming in and just feeling awkward with my punches and felt weird about hitting somebody. And it's light sparring, so you're not hitting full force, but you are still making contact. And yeah, it used to just kind of feel awkward, but I've gotten used to it. I've learned how to kind of keep my mind calm, because there's so many things you're juggling, so many thoughts you're juggling while you're in the middle of sparring with somebody. And I've gotten so much more comfortable with it, and so now I know what it's like being that beginner, and now being with them, it puts into perspective for me. Like, I'm not at the bottom of the food chain anymore, if that makes sense. I'm not at the top, but I'm not at the bottom anymore. And so it's kind of it is nice to have that frame of reference to show me, like, oh, I am getting better. Look how far I've come. Like, I'm so comfortable, and I can read their moves super easily. I can block or evade, and I can see the openings, and I can land shots on them easily. And that, again, I'm not saying that to boast, but I'm saying that shows that, oh, I have learned, I have come a long way, I have made progress. So I think that's just the thing. Is like, sometimes in life, you don't realize how much you are progressing at something until you have that perspective something that shows you where you were, and you realize, like, when you compare where you are to where you were, you realize just how far you've come. Hey, Daniel, stopping by to say hi, but have to go back to work. If you got time, I can try to play a song. But either way, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you've been doing well. I don't know if you got any plans for the 4th of July, Daniel, or anything coming up you're excited about. But, yep, happy 250th to you as well. Let me see here. Sorry, I was talking a bit. But yes, I heard Backrooms was creepy. It was creepy. Now, did you like it? Was it just creepy, or was it good? Because it sounds like it's done really well. Backrooms and Obsession, those are the two movies that have done really well in the box office lately. There's a movie that came out called The Furious. I'd really like to see that one at some point. I'm just recently watching Sakamoto Days, and Season 2 is coming. That kind of has a John Wick vibe, as the main guy is an ex-assassin. Pretty good one if interested. Interesting. I might have to look into that myself. Sakamoto Days. I'll write that down. Let's see here. Let's see. Sakamoto Days. All right. Let's see here. I need to watch some more Keanu movies. Haven't seen Speed for a while. Yeah, Speed's a good one. I haven't seen it in a while either. To be honest, it's actually one of those movies. I don't know if I haven't seen it in a while or if I've never seen it at all. Like, maybe I've only seen parts of it and have never actually sat down and watched the full thing. But I know that one's pretty well regarded, so I need to see that at some point too. If somebody punches me, I'm probably going to cry. It just depends on the situation. Now, I've never been like fully punched. I've been hit like a little firmly, but I don't think anyone's ever completely wailed on me. Because you're there to learn, so you're making full contact. So there's a little bit of oomph, but you're not trying to destroy your partner. You're trying to learn together. You're trying to train. Let's see here. Just working. Y'all have a good night. Well, thanks for stopping by just to say hi, but I hope you have a good 250th as well, Daniel, and I hope the rest of your work shift goes well. I thought it was okay. Obsession was better, in my honest opinion. I got you. Yeah, from what I heard, Backrooms sounded like it was a little more kind of like an experience, maybe, than maybe as strong of a narrative. So, but, they both seemed intriguing. There's actually something kind of neat. I don't know if you guys have Netflix accounts. Netflix just put out something called Unhinged, and I think it's like an interactive. I think it's actually a game. So I think Netflix is experimenting with games, and it's like an interactive game. So you get to watch and you get to choose, like, you're the character and you get to choose where to go. And I think someone like breaks into your house or something like that. I think it's like a survival horror experience kind of thing. So I thought it actually sounded kind of fun. So we'll have to see. Let's see here. Yeah, you got to watch Speed. It's great. Sandra Bullock and Dennis Hopper are in it, and the guy from T2 who plays Dyson. Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's a good one. It's a great plot. I know it's like a bus that can't go under 50 miles an hour. If it does, the bomb goes off or something like that. Or something like that. I can't remember the exact premise, but it's a pretty great plot for an action movie. You should get yourself a gi and give judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu a try. The place I go, they do teach those. They teach judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I probably will at some point. Right now I'm enjoying Muay Thai, and it's more like, how do I say? I feel like I would learn better if I focused on one thing at a time. So I've thought that, like, technically I could. Like, right now I go twice a week, and if I wanted to, I could do one each week. Like on Tuesday I could do Muay Thai, and on Thursday I could do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that. But I feel like I wouldn't learn as well. I feel like it would slow down my progress. So I'd rather get a good foothold on Muay Thai. My plan right now is I think I'm at least going to go for the rest of the year, and then we'll see where my business is at. We'll see how all that goes, and that'll determine whether or not I continue with it. If life, if I'm doing good financially and I feel like I'm establishing, other goals of mine, then I'll probably stick with it. If not, I might take a break from it for a while and then have to come back to it. Like, I'm really enjoying it, but again, it still is kind of just a hobby at the end of the day. And so I think I'm determined to stick with it for the rest of this year. And then, but, whether or not I continue next year, we'll see. If I do continue next year, then maybe I would try getting into a little bit of Brazilian jiu-jitsu or judo. Yeah, Netflix has a bunch of games now. And I don't know if they've done it before. Like, they have maybe had games and I just haven't paid attention. But this was the first one that at least caught my attention because I like survival horror. And so I was kind of like, hey, that actually looks kind of cool. So we'll see. That actress in Obsession should be nominated for awards. She is phenomenal, super scary. Yeah, I heard she did a good job. I think she was very creepy in it from what I've heard. How is the business going, if you don't mind me asking? So far, good. It's hard to call it a business yet because I haven't made any money with it. But it's like signs are good. What kind of stinks is it's just a waiting game. At this point, it's just a matter of time till I get a client. But the good news is my videos are getting views. The view to engagement ratio is very good, and I keep getting subscribers, so that's really good. So like, I'm making videos. I'm already at 38 subscribers, I think. And again, I've only been at it for like 2 months or something like that. And keep in mind, these aren't just random subscribers. These are people that are interested in the content that I'm making. So it's my target audience. So that's good. And then one kind of exciting news. Now, don't get your hopes up too much, but it is exciting. So the offer I have at the end of each video, I promote a link to apply for a free coaching call. And I actually had my first person apply. So I got an email that somebody filled out the application and I reviewed it, and then I sent them a link. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them to see if we do schedule a free call. Now, this is just a free call. This doesn't mean that this person is going to become a client, but it's a good sign. It means there are people out there who are interested in what I have to offer. So I'm excited about that, but whether I get a client in the next week or the next several months or the next year, I'm not sure. But the good news is it does seem like there are people out there who are interested in what I'm doing, and it is growing. Like, it's, I'm getting more subscribers, more viewers, and so right now it's just a matter of being consistent. As long as I just keep showing up, keep making the videos, and keep posting them weekly, that's the main thing. So I'm hopeful for it. If anything, I'm actually feeling pretty optimistic about it. But at the same time, I'm trying to manage my expectations. I'm not trying not to get too excited too soon, because the truth is I don't know how long it's going to be till I actually get my first client. But it's looking good right now. All right. Definitely pulling for it to work out for you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm hopeful that it will. One thing that gave me hope also is that the guy that I learned from, Graham Cochran, he's got a podcast, and so I listen to his podcast every week when he posts an episode, and he gives great advice, great tips. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. And sometimes he'll share like testimonials from his clients. He'll give examples of people that he's coached. And he actually has, I don't know how many he has, but he has clients who teach songwriting, basically people doing what I'm wanting to do, So he's got people that are making good money teaching songwriting. So that's, again, it's just reassuring. So I believe it. I just don't know how long till it happens, so I'm very hopeful for it. But again, it's just a little bit of a waiting game, so we'll see. last thing I'll mention, we were talking about movies. I recently watched Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I wanted to watch those pretty recently, and they're good. What I like about those movies is that was like the early days of superhero movies before superhero was really a genre of movie. And so what I really like about those movies is that they don't feel like superhero movies. You know what I mean? They just feel like it just feels like a movie about Peter Parker, and then one of the things he has to deal with is the fact that he has superpowers and what that does to his life. But it doesn't just feel like spectacle, and it's not just all about the superpowers and the villains and stuff. Like, it's really about the characters, and it's about the sacrifices they have to make to be a hero and how it impacts their lives and their relationships and that kind of thing. And so, I really like the first one. I watched the second one earlier today, and they're great. I absolutely loved those movies when I was a kid. Like, I adored them, watched the heck out of them, watched every nook and cranny I could find of the special features. Do you guys remember DVDs? They'd come with the 2 discs, and you have the special features disc, and they had all the behind the scenes, or they'd have like games, they'd have music videos on there. I remember as a kid, I would just watch just every little thing I could find on those discs, and I'd watch them over and over. I loved that stuff. And thankfully, it's not just the nostalgia talking, but looking back, it is, they are really good movies. I really like them. And I actually think the superhero action is really good in them. Like they do a good job. I just feel like there's really good emotional weight behind the action scenes. It never just feels like, oh, here's the action scene, and it's just this big CGI, spectacle that you're just kind of waiting, you're just kind of watching passively, waiting till it gets to the next plot point. It feels like there's real stakes and good stuff, and the action is actually quite thrilling, considering how it was done. So yeah, they're good. I enjoyed all of them, especially the neo-noir one. Yeah, that one looked really cool. One of my favorite genres. And then yeah, some movies from Eddie, Heavy Metal. Yep. I still need to see that, but I know what you're talking about, from 81. Sci-fi animated. Let's see, the French Connection, yeah. And that's one, I don't think I've seen the full movie, but I know that one's got a famous car scene in it. And I think I've looked that up before, and it's pretty gripping. It's pretty awesome how that's shot. Yeah, neo-noir crime. And The Day of the Jackal, interesting, British thriller. Don't think I'd seen that one, but yeah, you're giving me some movies that I'll have to check out. Enjoyed all of them, especially the neo-noir one. That sounds like the one that would be most up my aisle. The British thriller sounds like it could be good as well. But yeah, I like a good neo-noir kind of thing. I liked the DVDs that came out with the commentary from the actors throughout the movie. Yeah, that's always fun too, being able to listen and kind of hear them comment on it. And I've been wanting to watch some of those with directors lately, just to hear them, again, with some of my favorite movies, and hear them kind of comment and, what was going on in their mind while they were shooting the scene, and just, why they did it the way they did it, just to kind of learn a little something from them. But yeah, commentaries can be enjoyable. Some of them are pretty fun. If you look them up, I'm pretty sure there's some that they'll tell you like the good ones to look up, because there's some commentaries that they'll do, and you could just tell they're having a blast just commentating over the movie. So, all right. Well, guys, let me go ahead and get one more song for you all, and then I think we're going to put a wrap on this. Let me see which song I want to do. All right. I got one that I haven't done in a while, so I'm going to give it a shot. But again, it has been a little while, so hopefully it'll go okay. I think this is going to be the last song, and then we're going to put a wrap on things. But guys, I have enjoyed chatting with you all. This one is called Erase Myself. Let me get a drink of water. Courtesy reminder for all of you to stay hydrated out there. All right, this one's called Erase Myself. Let me kind of review the guitar parts real quick, make sure I remember how to play it. The main riff is... All right, we'll see how it goes. Hope you all like it. I think this is going to be the last one, and then we're going to put a wrap on the stream. But anyway, this is Erase Myself. Hope you like it.
shame. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again.
Thank you. Again, that one is Erase Myself. Hope you all enjoyed it. I think that's going to be the last one. So we're going to put a wrap on things. But first, let me get caught up with the chat, and then we will wrap things up. All right. Let's see. The Day of the Jackal has a Bourne vibe before Bourne existed, for your information. Well, I love Bourne, so let me add that to the list. I always appreciate the suggestions, so let me put... gonna write that down. The Day of the Jackal. I'm going to add French Connection as well. I'm pretty sure this... I don't know if you guys are familiar with Letterboxd. I think that's the name of the website. But it's just a movie information site, and you can have a watch list on there. And so I often, add movies to that to make sure I get around to seeing them at some point. And then heavy metal also. All right. Yeah, thanks for looking out for me. I like the little wink right there. All ears. Good stuff. I saw the DVD comment, or maybe commentary. Yep, thank you for the emojis, you guys. Much appreciated. Jack saying, the Day of the Jackal had some pretty cold kills. Edward Fox was awesome. Here's our highlighted lyric from Becky. Hit me with the truth and don't pull your punches. Yeah, that's a song about refinement, really. That's why it's called Erase Myself. It's this idea of, not being defined by just who you were in the past, but rebuilding yourself and striving to be better, striving to grow. And it's not always easy. Again, that's kind of why the bridge says, it hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It's, erase yourself and start again. It's this refinement process of not letting the past define you, but, being honest with yourself. And it can be a hard process to go through, but it's a very rewarding process to do that. So yeah, sometimes the truth hurts, but denial's what'll kill you. Let's see. Oh, darn it. I guess I got to do one more song. Thank you, Becky, for looking out for Jack. Yeah, I got to do A Mirror That Was Broken. All right, I got one more song for you all. I got A Mirror That Was Broken. I'll get to it real quick. All right. Great as always, Q. Hey, thanks, Eddie. I appreciate it. Don't worry. I'll be all right, Jack. I'll get one more for you. Because things happen. Summer gets busy. It could be a little while. Hopefully, we'll have a stream 2 weeks from now. That's the plan, but it'll be the acoustic one. I love the conversation almost as much as the music. Well, good, because that's half of it, So it is rock and talk. So, all right. Well, here we go. I got one more for you. One more song, and then I will get out of here. Jack, you had requested A Mirror That Was Broken. Here it is. You know what stinks is I think I had it set up too, and I just I just forgot. I forgot that it was requested, so I was looking on my list to see what other songs I'd had in mind. All right, one more, and then we'll wrap things up. Jack, this one goes out to you. This is called A Mirror That Was Broken. Hope you like it. I'm going to see if I can get this solo right. It's not that hard. I just haven't played it as much as some of the other solos. All right, we'll give it a shot. Jack, this one goes out to you. This is A Mirror That Was Broken.
And so I lived happily ever after, or so I thought, until she told me it was over. A broken heart has a way of putting life on hold. But when I start to think, I never seem to find an answer. And I am falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering what life is going to say. Draping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself and a mirror that is broken. I said goodbye and never saw my friends again. Then took some time to see if I could make things clear. It's a lonely drive when there's no one in the passenger seat, and I'll catch myself often glancing in the rearview mirror. 'Cause I am falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, counting up my hands, looking for myself and a mirror that is broken. Every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar is a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. I'll never see heaven if I'm face down in the dirt. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar is a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. And so I'm letting go, 'cause I am falling apart now for all I know. Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go. I'm looking ahead now to better days and wondering what life life has got in store for me. I'm falling apart now for all I know. Just fragments of memories from long ago. But those days are over, so I'll move on. I know that the best is yet to come. Displaying all the pieces, showing who I am. Formed a masterpiece from a mirror that was broken. From a mirror that was broken. Yeah.
There we go. Again, that was A Mirror That Was Broken, requested by Jack. Jack, thank you for your request. I hope you enjoyed the song. All right, now that's going to be a wrap. So there we go. We'll catch up with the chat, and then we will end things. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's see here. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the conversation as well, Becky. Please make sure to stay safe, everyone, in the searing heat. Yeah, for sure. Stay in the shade. If you do go out, drink lots of water and not too many sugary drinks. Those temps are insane. Yeah, no kidding. I'm hoping to go to the skate park tomorrow, and thank you for the the 100s and the hearts and the celebration confetti emojis. Thank you. I'm hoping to go to the skate park tomorrow, but we will see. If it's brutally hot, I don't know. I've survived before, but I don't know that it's been 100 degrees. We'll see. If I sleep good, wake up early, get out there, maybe I can get out before it gets too hot. Probably have a shorter session. Here's our highlighted lyric. "'Cause I am falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering what life..." And I kind of got it mixed up there, so you might have heard me say it. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same. That's the first time. And then I got it mixed up with the last chorus, which says, "Falling apart now for all I know. Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go." How's it go? "Before I let him go, I'll just keep..." No. Oh my gosh. I'm forgetting the lyrics. Okay. "Falling apart now for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go." Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go. Wow. I just sang it. I'm drawing a blank on the lyrics. Let me see if I can find my lyrics real quick. I don't even know if I still have them on here. I'm looking on my computer notes. Yeah, the last chorus is, "I'm looking ahead now." That's what it is. "I'm looking ahead now to better days and wondering what life has got in store for me." There we go. Yeah, the first time it's, "But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same." And then the last chorus, it says, "I'm looking ahead now to better days and wondering what life has got in store for me." So there we go. But yeah, I got it mixed up in the first chorus. Let's see here. Oh, I appreciate you performing it, Quincy. As always, you were fantastic. Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you for the emojis, everyone, the applause. Thank you, Eddie. Much appreciated. Heck yes. Only good for a sesh. Yeah, with the heat. Peace, y'all. Appreciate you tuning in, Eddie. Hope you take care. It was me who muddled the lyrics, and I think we both ran into that a little bit. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Again, if you want more music, again, I've got a link. It's pinned where you can check out more of my music. But I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed the songs and the conversation. Again, keep cool out there. Make sure you stay nice and hydrated because it's going to be hot. But appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you're on the world. Until next time.